been searching for a podcast that can motivate you, inspire you, and teach you about business and life all at the same time? Well, we've got you covered. This is Beyond the Blueprint with Matt. Breaking the mold and exploring the uncharted territories of mortgages, real estate, faith, marketing, coaching, and so much more. Giving you content that goes beyond the standard formula of expectation, delving deep into the heart of those topics. Whether you're seeking to unlock the secrets of real estate success, looking for ways to strengthen your faith, or seeking guidance in the world of marketing and coaching, you're in the right place, helping to educate and motivate you through real-life experiences with work and life. We'll uncover stories like how a family's homeowning...
All right, welcome to Beyond the Blueprint podcast. My name is Matt Sochi, and I'm your host today. And I am very, very excited about the launch of this podcast. I know there's been some talk out there about what we have going on, so let me just move this chair out of the way. So the podcast today is really about what the whole meaning behind Beyond the Blueprint is. And the vision behind this is to help educate and motivate the people out there in the workforce, friends that are out in the same industry or in other industries, to really see a different perspective of how you can go about your day-to-day business when it comes to work, family, recreation, and a whole bunch of different things. And I really want to discuss motivation and different types of leadership skills that I've learned and different coaching things that I've adapted to, specifically in my work life, but also be able to share that with everybody else. So I'm really excited to deliver this to everybody. I think it's a lot easier as far as reach goes to be able to do it in this type of manner where it's a video on YouTube. And you could also catch us on all major podcast streams such as Apple, Samsung, iHeartRadio, and don't forget Amazon. So I want to tell a little bit about my personal story. Not a Florida native, but I've been here 13 years, just about. And ultimately from Connecticut, grew up there in a small town called Newtown, Connecticut, and just really a different type of world from when I was growing up in the 80s and 90s to where we are here now. A lot has obviously changed. We didn't have cell phones, and we had, corded phones and cordless phones. But I started my career, well, let's start with this. So I went to college for a little bit, but started a career with a company called Radio Shack. At 18 years old, I was promoted to a manager. That was fun, trying to have to coach and develop people that were 2 or 3 times my age. But it taught me a lot of life lessons, and I stayed with them for, I think, about 5 years or so. Then went to AT&T. It was a great opportunity, and worked my way up with AT&T. I learned a lot of different things. There was a lot of different coaching and classes and leadership classes, and did very well, and came down to Florida, went to Summit, which is the top 1% a few times, and just really rolled out a lot of different things with the company. And the one thing that really upset me was there was really not much room for growth, at least for me. And I did all the right things, and I was following the blueprint that I was told, but it just didn't get to the right spot. There was always somebody else, or they were promised this for promotions, but I had the opportunity to get into the mortgage industry by my lovely wife, Melissa, who introduced me to Glenn Minette, who's the owner of Premier Mortgage Consultants, where I work now. And I still remember this day where I was doing a refinance because I was in an adjustable rate mortgage in Connecticut. I had a short sale. It was during the crash. And, I had to do an adjustable rate mortgage. And at the time, I couldn't get a good rate with the bank, even with great credit. So Melissa recommended for me to talk to Glenn. And I remember specifically at an AT&T meeting. It was like a team meeting at one of the other managers' house, and I took the phone call from Glenn, and we started talking, and I was just really curious about this industry. And one of my passions has always been about helping people. I love helping people, helping either with marketing, obviously with homes, investing, and all those different things. And I remember walking around the lanai by the pool and asking the questions like, what is the mortgage industry like? Is it a great business to get into? And through that conversation, something clicked, and I was just like, I love helping people now, but imagine doing it on a bigger scale, okay? And something that everybody gets super excited about, which is getting the keys to your house and buying a home. So he told me all I had to do is take a 20-hour course, which I didn't realize is freaking very difficult, right? 20 hours, yeah, okay. And we'll go into more stories of that and stuff down the road. But, I passed the test, and I was super excited the second time, okay? The first time I didn't pass, let's not talk about it, missed by one question. That's a whole episode of its own. But did not pass the test the first time, but I passed the second time, and that was a big milestone in my life because now I had to start a new career, not knowing a single thing, and getting out of the ordinary of what I knew for the last 13 years. And I want to tell my story, but also have other people invited to this podcast as well to tell their stories, because I think everybody has a really unique story, whether it's real estate, mortgages, finance, landscape, you name it. Everybody has an interesting story. So that's really my vision behind this, but also teach things that I've learned along the way. It's all about life experiences and the roles that we all play in our lives with what we learn. I like to teach, but I also like to learn, because without learning, you cannot teach and you cannot get better in your day-to-day. And I want to reach out to somebody out there today that if you're feeling not motivated or inspired, or you're waking up in the morning and going, I just don't want to go to work, I don't want to do anything, there's a way to change that. There is a way to change that. And that's what I want to help instill in everybody out there, because it's exciting. You should be excited to go to work, excited to help people. There's never a day I'm like, oh man, I got to go get somebody pre-approved. I'm like, let's go. I love it. And that's what our team is all about. So really, I want to fuel up our journey. This is not going to be an every week podcast or a video, but it's going to be there where I find that there's something valuable that I could share with everybody. And I want it to be something that you could walk away with and say, I cannot wait for the next episode. And I want you to share it with any of your friends or family or anybody out there, because we could reach people by numbers, and we got to do it together. And that's a big thing. Even in the industry I'm in, Facebook and all the different social platforms are a big thing. I would say this, and this is something I wanted to bring up, is, and this goes into coaching, it's very difficult to get a camera and hit record. A lot of people have fear over it. I have fear over it. I look back at some of the videos I've made, first rodeo, not good. Some of them got great hits, but not good. Corny, didn't sound good. And it's probably been about a year, not even a year yet since I've done them. And there's been positive impact. There's something about video that people look at and they go, okay, I know who this guy is. And if you know anything about me, I don't get dressed up. I'm not fake. This is who I am. Usually I have a hat on, got a haircut, so it's all good. But it's really about overcoming your fears and putting them into a story or a result, okay? It's about overcoming your fears. Don't be fearful because of what you look like, what you sound like. You can't change it. You might be able to change what you look like, but at the end of the day, nobody really cares either. It's about the content that you're sharing with other people, and that's where the motivation, coaching, and leadership comes in. And that's what I want out of this. If you're fearful of something, I want to know about it so I could talk about it. And I want this to be engaging. So on social media, I might ask, what do you guys want to see, and take polls. And I really want to collaborate with everybody out there. And if you're local, I'd love to have you come in here. I want to talk to you about your story and maybe some things that you're struggling with that we could help. But it's not going to be about real estate and marketing. I want to make that very clear. We might talk about gardening. I'm learning a lot from my wife about these generic made foods that we're all eating, like just eating healthy. I know a lot of you guys out there love to eat healthy or into fitness and just longevity of life. So this is going to have a lot of different terms. We could talk about sports and how bad the Dallas Cowboys are with their quarterback, Dak Prescott. Let's fire them. We could talk about a lot of different things, and that's what is really going to come from future episodes. It's going to really be the feedback that you guys give so that I could collaborate with you and be able to bounce off that. And we could also do call-ins, which is pretty cool. There's a lot of different things. So I'm just trying to keep this on time. I like to keep these podcasts short. I don't want to make it 20 minutes, 30 minutes. If we have a guest, maybe a little bit longer, but about a topic. Let's just try to keep it 10, 12 minutes tops, so we could go from there. But so really, what I want you to do for this one, I'm going to tell some stories. So next episode, I think we're going to talk about when I first started doing mortgages, because I remember it like yesterday. It was about 5 years ago. Where did I start? How did I figure it out? Because I think there's a lot of new people out there getting into this industry who don't know where to start or where to hang their broker license or their real estate license or their mortgage broker license. And I think it's really, really important that that's the first foundation, is where do you start? And I want to talk about foundation and how to build that foundation, but also talking about different struggles and the power of no and how to overcome that and all those different things. So in light of time, I'm going to keep it under 10 minutes. Here we are. Thank you so much.
You've been listening to Beyond the Blueprint with Matt. Matt's passion is to talk about breaking the mold and exploring the uncharted territories of mortgages, real estate, faith, marketing, coaching, and so much more. Helping to show you there's always a way forward. Thanks so much for listening to the show. We hope you've enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to like, rate, review, and subscribe. We'll be back soon. But in the meantime, you can find us on YouTube and Facebook and on all the major podcast channels at Beyond the Blueprint. See you next time.